What up? What up? What up? What up? How are y'all doing, everybody? Hope everybody is having a great day. Hello, men. How y'all doing? This is great. It's been a while. It's been a minute. We're back in front of you today, and we're going to be back in front of you every Sunday around this time. So we want you guys to tune in and check out what we're doing today. Is we're going to be on Facebook. Here in a moment, you're going to hear Mr. Tommy Gunn's voice. Hi, Tommy. How you doing?
What is up, YouTube?
And Facebook.
And Facebook. And the app. All of you. How's everybody doing today? DJ caught me right in the middle of, I was in the gym, as everybody should be, if you can. But
That's right.
I was on the treadmill, had my phone facing up, and I saw the notification of, I was like, oh, I better go, because we changed the dates on which we met and did the Watchmen, and I remember him talking about it. Once I saw that notification, I was like, I gotta go. And so, straight from the gym to here, sweating it all out. So, I'm sure Pastor DJ here is loving the scent that I'm giving off.
It's wonderful. It's manly. I like manly things. So
The
I like
musk.
smell the manhood that's in here today.
Yes.
Yes, bask in it. Bask in the madness.
The B.O.
Yeah, it has been a while. And,
It has been a very long time, guys.
Since we have actually went on, and it's great to be here today.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of that was because during the time in which, there was a few moments where I was having a lot of issues, I guess, and when I come over here, it was more of a let's talk with DJ and talk about some things that are going on within my life and how I'm feeling and how I'm thinking and just different things. And for a while there, it was just kind of like Mondays when we were supposed to go live. We were kind of just talking it out, and so that was definitely indeed helpful.
That's the thing about us as the Watchmen. That's what we're here for us to have the fellowship of being men, where the church the church buildings over the years has let down men that and has focused more on how to populate the numbers inside those buildings, that they forget to have that care for men, and sometimes that's what it is needed, is for us as the men just to come together and say, hey, let's talk this out. Let's get this going. Let's figure out what's going on, so we can be more productive in society, and how we can let our feelings out, and not be afraid to put ourselves out there. That's what I love about what we are, is that we are not afraid to show each other love and intimacy, and that's what he's talking about. He would come over here, and instead of go live, I would much rather have us learning one another as the disciples did, and as Jesus shows us in the Word that we should learn when love one another. And if we just worry about, oh, well, we got to go live, and we just got to go do this, and we got to do that, we're not giving no care to one another.
Yeah, and nothing would separate us apart from those buildings.
Exactly.
Than here.
Exactly.
So, and that was definitely helpful for me. Just knowing, just knowing what we're needing to do and what we need to do to get our minds right, to keep moving forward, depending on, how we were feeling at that time. Because where I was at was more doubtful, and probably doubtful is probably the best term to use, or unsure as well. Well, I mean, that's almost the same thing. But, and that was what I was bringing to the table there. And so me and DJ, we talked it out for a while, and we made it a routine to try and be here. We didn't always, because things came up because it's summertime and stuff like that, and so there's people want to do stuff in the summertime. In the wintertime, nobody wants to do anything, so that's where Mondays were just like, yep, I'm coming here, because everybody else, they're not wanting to do anything because it's too cold outside or it's whatever. So it's crazy how that happens, but it's understandable and why it happens.
And certain things like that definitely happen.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, with those types of moments, because that was in the early stages of springtime, where it was still cold. And I've done some research, because there's not as much sun out during the wintertime, so you get a lot of vitamin D if you're outside, you're doing stuff. So that may be something that I will try in the wintertime, is supplement with that while going to the gym, because I know they have it and I've heard people talk about it. So that might be something, that way I can eliminate that it's either a spiritual battle or just like an internal emotional because of different hormones or whatever, deficiencies in different vitamins, so that way we don't have that happen again. So,
well, I mean, at the end of the day, as we say, this is all growing. We're all This is something that God has given us to grow a platform. To be where we are today is amazing in itself.
Yeah.
To have come as far as we have, like I would have never thought. I mean, you know me, Tommy. We've been doing this for a long time, and we started out. It's amazing. We started out in a freaking coffee shop.
Yeah.
Meeting on Thursdays to a stairwell, to now being where we're at now is just strictly amazing. I mean, I don't know how else to call it other than just what it is. Amazing that we have this ability.
I think we've pretty much hit every day of the week too, because I remember we'd be down here back in 2017. It'd be every Friday, and then we moved it, I think, back to Wednesdays or Thursday. I mean, we've hit probably every day of the week to meeting up on different occasions.
I mean, we have.
So
we have went through such a period of growth. But here's the thing. We started out a long time ago, and we started going live. We started doing this live, and we started saying, one day Facebook is coming for us. One day Facebook is coming for us. And finally, they're here. It's here. Just like today, we just had our Sunday service, Jesus and Jeans moment. And here we are. We're 10 minutes into that podcast, and boom, they shutting us down. Facebook is.
Wow.
And it's all because they were talking about Wanda was talking about a black female, talking about gender, and how there's only two genders. And we probably just got canceled there too. I don't know. But
well, I'll say this, and it's funny because you can debunk their whole platform here. Because if you look at any of the media, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Facebook or wherever, everything is about empower women. Okay, and Wanda is a woman. And then not only that, you're also going down the list of saying, you have a lot of BLM or Black Lives Matter and these types of organizations, and they're pushing for this uplifting of women. And now Wanda, who is a black woman, and then getting canceled. So you can see right through their agenda and their goal. And you could see the devil right quick and clear that they're trying to remove God. That's exactly what it is. Because they think they're God, but that's not the case. So that's one of those things that, everyone that's listening right now, you're going to have to start moving and either get the app or subscribe to YouTube. So, because there's going to come a time, and I think this is something that DJ's wanting to talk about today, coming real close, that you're not going to get us on that platform anymore. So if you watch us from there, you're going to get screwed because you either have to get the app or go to YouTube. And you'll see everything that gets posted. So that's up to you. We would recommend you getting the app. That way you're all-inclusive, and you have everything right there at your disposal to talk to people, reach out to people. But if you're just wanting to watch the podcast and stuff, you can always go to YouTube. So it's up to you. Whatever works best for you. But, yeah, it's crazy how these things happen. And then everywhere that they push is because of those two things. Oh, we need to empower women. Oh, we need to empower black women especially. And then she goes on here and does her thing and then gets cut. So that's how you could see right through it, man.
Well, I mean, that's what you
could see right through it.
We have been able to see right through that stuff
for a long time. Yeah.
For a very, very long time.
Absolutely.
And now that we've come to the place that we're at now, it doesn't even bother me anymore.
Yeah.
Like we started doing this here recently, as far as trying to transfer over to the app, because here earlier in the year you sent me something one night about how Facebook started flagging us, right?
Oh yeah. I remember that.
And I just want to tell you now, we don't even have an Instagram account.
Really?
Yeah, we're trying to fight to get our Instagram account back. I mean, it's not that we're see, that's the thing, man. We want you to know that we are the Watchmen because we see things. We are called the Watchmen because it's not that we're just this prophetic people. We can watch. The Bible says in Ezekiel, we are watchmen because we notice what's in front of us. We can see what's happening, and if we don't do something about it, and things get bad, it's because we didn't do something about it. That's on us. Yeah. And so we see things that are going, and here we are. We just got a notification. Try to get signed into Instagram. They done killed our Instagram account.
I mean, all this is you see everything laid out so beautifully that it's all for the removal of man. That way you remove the balls, so that right there will eliminate any fighting power. And they want to take full control, and they want people to think that they are God themselves, or to be in full. And I don't deal with that. I don't take. If it gets to that point, we got a plan. So
I mean,
100%.
And for us, it was just our that time that we needed to do what we do now.
Yeah.
To do what we do now, and that's to give us a place to where, when we talk about being men for the Lord, we're not being censored because we say something that nobody may or may not like. Because it's at the point to your credit, Tommy, what you just said. We are living in a society where they are literally lying to you just to get you to vote or be propaganda to a certain way, but come to find out it's the total jack lies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I look here, peep this. I look at our news and I look at the things that are going on. We stand on the firm word of the Lord, and we know that's the truth, right?
Yeah.
We go back to the promises of the rainbow. That rainbow that's in the sky every single time gives us a promise that God's word is true, because God wrote it in his word that every time we saw that rainbow, it was a promise that he gave us, right?
Yeah.
And so when we look at that and then we try to do exactly as it's called, then we get canceled. Then we get shut down. But we can't let that stop us, and we have to create we have to create something better, because God is guiding us. And so we have. We've come here now today to where we can talk about, if Facebook cuts us off today, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care no more.
I don't either.
Because it shows me the lies that is always going to be there, against God, because he's always going to be true. And the lies that I see in front of us are the same lies that I used to tell my parents when I was growing up. Tommy, if I was to go to my dad or my mom when I was growing up and tell them some of the stuff that I hear on the news today, they would laugh at me. But son, you're lying. I remember. Look, I remember a time that I was caught skipping school. Right?
Yeah.
All right. And you tell me who this sounds like. I was caught skipping school, but every time my mom and my dad would go to these teachers, they were like, "Oh no, he skipped." I was like, "No, I was there. I kept telling them I was there, but I got caught red-handed. But I kept lying." What does this sound like today?
The news, the media,
the administration. They kept saying, "Oh well, no, inflation's not a problem. Oh no, the gas prices. Oh no. What do you mean? Oh no. Yeah. We're seeing reality happen, and you're telling me something different.
That's how you know that whole left side is just full of shit. I mean, just straight up.
And that's where we come from, and that's where we look at it, and I'm like, okay, when I told them my parents that lie, oh, I was at school.
Oh, they didn't believe it.
Oh, they didn't believe it.
They didn't believe it.
They did not believe me. And we went to every single teacher. Then they were like, no, he was checked absent.
Well, that's because.
And I was telling my parents, oh, no, you don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea. They did not see me.
Hey,
no!
But nowadays it's flip-flop. So let's say in your situation, it's flip-flop. Oh, my little Johnny's perfect. And they're going to believe a kid over a full-grown adult. That's where it switched as well, where you got these parents, oh, well, I don't want to be the bad person. You know, there's got to be discipline. There's got to be the wooden spoon. There's got to be the belt. There's got to be punishments. There's got to be grounding. If there's not, you get the BS that you see today.
Something.
I
mean, that's why when people ask me about some of the things that we talk about, I'm like, look, I'm not a genius. None of us here are geniuses. But we have this thing called common sense.
Yeah.
When you stand, listen, when you stand in front of the American people, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you stand in front of them and you say, hey, I'm going to shut off all the gas lines. I'm shutting off all the oil, right? And then a year and a half later, we have $5 a gallon gas prices. And then you look and say, well, it's not my fault.
You look like an idiot.
So whose fault is it? Don't blame it on
Russia and
Don't
Putin.
blame it on pandemics and Russias and all that.
They're still dragging that out. You seen that?
Yeah. You cut it off. Like, you shut it off. Like, you're the one that said, I got a pen and I got a phone. I'm going to shut this off. That's your fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how do you get past that is your fault?
You don't. At this point, you can't even trust the government.
And that's why we say, as the Watchmen, we need men back in our lives. Strong men that's going to stand up, because a strong man would have come up and been like, yeah, you know what? We did shut it off, and you know what? We probably should have not done that. So we're going to make adjustments, and we're going to open up the pipelines, or we're going to open up the supply chain, whatever lie you want to dictate.
Yeah.
A strong leader would come up and say, you know what? It is my fault.
I see so many people referencing back to Ronald Reagan during the 1980s and his presidency, and some of the things that he just spoke in some of the speeches. It's so real to this day, and we would need somebody of his caliber almost again.
Yeah.
To lead.
And Donald Trump is not that.
No.
I mean, and we know how we feel about that, but Donald Trump is not that.
No.
I mean, I hear a lot of people that ask, well, do you want would you want Donald Trump back? Well, yeah, I would want Donald Trump back to what we have.
Yeah.
But is he the one that's going to fix everything?
No.
Why? Because he's so hated that he'd never get a chance to fix anything. So, I mean, if he ever, I don't know what the future holds. But what I know right now is that we need a strong man. And I'll say it again, we need a strong man that's ready to lead so we can get past the situations that we have in front of us.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And the problem is in this day and age where everything, if you take a real good look at it, you look at it's almost indoctrination. If you look at any sitcom, whether it's Everybody Loves Raymond, Friends, all these shows, they always, Family Guy, some of you guys probably watch that, South Park, they always depict the man as a bumbling retard.
Yes.
So now you have all these young women, and they're going to treat the man as such. So it's almost indoctrination throughout all this time. It may be funny, but then you don't realize that this is what's going on. And it's the removal. That way you don't have a fighter.
That's right.
You know, and now you have so many people that are either freaks or just messed up mentally or something. In some which, if it was back in movie 300, back in the day of Rome, you had these defects, you'd have been thrown in the pit dead. You'd have been slit throat, thrown away. That's it.
So we have a generation in front of us that says we love everybody and love is love, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't. When the
How
reality
is
of the world with real fighters from other, like I would give more respect to the Islamic nations because they actually have, or Israel and stuff like that. They have actual people that are brute fighters because they're not indoctrinated because they value both sides. They don't get twisted with, oh well, that she identifies as a tree. Well, I guess I'm the frickin' tooth fairy then. You know,
and so we see that the teardown of what we've established in this country is slowly taking shape. I did not realize how close we were to becoming a socialist country until here in the past week or so, because I've been listening to what they say on our news. Right?
Yeah.
The one thing they keep saying is everybody's got to do their part. Everybody's got to keep listening to that, because the more they say it, the more they're saying we want socialism. Because everybody's got to do their part in socialism. Everybody's got to do their part. What do? They call up on they call gas companies, convenience stores, and they're like, hey, you got to do your part. Why are you taxing everybody? Man, do they not realize the gas station only gets like 3 cents a gallon that they sell? What are they supposed to check? How are they supposed to correct a gas problem that you created? By telling everybody they need to do their part. That's the first simple terms. That's what you call indoctrination. Everybody's got to do their part. Everybody's got to do their part. Where did that start? COVID-19. Everybody's got to do their part. Everybody need to wear a mask. Everybody need to get vaccinated. It's them slowly giving us their full agenda out loud.
Because that's something that everyone can agree on. Because even like in the midst of it, when it first went down, when it first happened, the end of 2019 into 2020, when that first happened, I was still in Camp Lejeune, stationed there. When that first happened, that's something that everyone could probably look at. Didn't matter what gender you are, what race, didn't matter. Or even what side of the political view. Everyone was probably in that moment of, oh, dang, okay.
I can get by.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not good. That's not good. So everyone understood little trip. Oh yeah, we really do need to work together or whatever at that very moment. But then as time went on, they kept dragging it out, and you see so much BS being poured into the news media, and it's like, oh, we're doing this now. Now it's not needed. Now it's needed. Now it's not needed. Now you don't need this. You need triple. That's where it's like, all right, I'm done.
That's where
I'm done.
That's exactly.
That's
where
the reason why
from.
I am out of the military. And now I've seen some people out here saying that the Army has had quite a few random deaths for no reason, and people they've seen a medical increase within the military because they forced it, and there's this medical, like, people are having all these crazy issues.
And have you heard about SADS?
No, I haven't. What's that?
SADS. Is it SADS? SADS. It's sudden adult death syndrome. Like, you used to have infants. You used to have something to do with infants, right?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, this sudden adult death syndrome. It used to be SIDS. It still is SIDS, but now it's SAD because it used to be sudden infant death syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay, but now it's sudden adult death syndrome, and it's all come after these. I'm just going to say after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the pandemic, all of a sudden, all these people starting to drop dead or starting to get these things happening to them. Well, why is that? I mean, I'm not one to sit here and say it's because of X, Y, and Z, but I'm just saying, logically happening, if you did this and this happened, well, then maybe that's the consequence of you doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out there and far.
So this, I mean, now after seeing this, there's always a chance that it was BS because I've only seen it from one person. So whether they're getting their information correct, I haven't, whatever. So I will leave it with a grain of salt. But if this is true and 100% true, then I'm glad that I made the decision that I did and stood firm on it and just didn't care what anybody else thought. So love it.
This is why we're here, Tommy. We're here because we want people to be informed of what's coming down the pipeline. Not that we're conspiracy theorists. Not that we're not anybody special, other than just men looking out for our society. Yeah. We are men truly looking at this environment that we have and going, oh my Lord, what's going on? Did you know that they're now trying to talk about this COVID-19, that they're going to try to bring back a fifth booster? They're going to try to start putting masks back on us. They're going to try to put us locked back down. I guarantee you nobody knows that 3 weeks ago, Joe Biden signed an executive order giving our sovereignty, our medical sovereignty, over to the WHO organization.
The what?
The WHO, World Health Organization. So if the World Health Organization said that we need to go lock down, guess who gave the World Health Organization that power? We did. We gave them our sovereignty. When a medical pandemic, if they said everybody locks down, we now have to lock down. We don't get the sovereignty of saying we're American citizens.
Hey, for everyone out there, you might want to start making a game plan and get locked and loaded.
I mean, and it's sad because I just go and do research. It don't take long to do research. Go out and look it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, go out and look these things up. Don't believe me. Don't believe Tommy. If we find something out there, we're going to tell you. Then it's your opportunity to go and find out, well, are they really being truthful or is it crazy? Go look it up.
Yeah.
You know, there
was a thing that I saw.
It's these things that happen that we don't see, but they'll tell us all about how we need to have our Second Amendment or we need to have our First Amendment or whatever. They put all this charades while they're in the back going, okay, World Health Organization, let me sign away the United States sovereignty. Whenever you say there's a pandemic, we'll do whatever you say we're going to do.
Yeah, stupidity. Now, it's for all, one world order. Now, look, I don't know if you saw this, but it's some Arabian guy talking to another, news guy, but he said Americans do this to Americans, so that would be us internally, and it's to where they pump so much information or so much false narratives and stuff, just so much to where you don't ever know what's correct. That's part of the smokescreen if you think about it, because then you don't know what the hell to believe. So you may be thinking, well, old DJ and Tommy here don't know what the hell we're talking about, but then all of a sudden we're on the right path, but you're going to believe some guy over here, you know. So there's so much, like, just like I just did it just now, whether this person was reporting the correct stuff within the military that's happening, which I do not doubt, then I made a good decision. As I said here, I only heard it once from one area on TikTok from some dude. I never went and looked it up myself. So you see how just right in there is a perfect example how I said, if that is true, because I don't know. So there's so much of that stuff as a smokescreen to where you just don't, you don't, oh, that could be true, maybe it's not. So it leaves you unprepared for what could be.
Watch this. As a pastor, I've been preaching for 6 years since this ministry is starting, is that people have been tithing the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
And we've been preaching how we should be tithing according to the word, the true way. All right. And as a pastor, people are like, oh, you're crazy. That's not how we're supposed to do it. That's not how we're supposed to do it. How come it is Creflo Dollar, one of these mega church pastors, got on their live streams and said, I've been preaching it wrong. I've been doing it wrong. And then guess what he's come back and corrected himself with? What we've been teaching. So does that mean that we're special? No, that just means that we were actually attentive to the word, and we do things by what the word says.
Yeah.
And when they say that we're crazy, we're probably not. Because how is it that now, after 6 years of preaching the same thing over and over again, that we now have mega pastors going, you know what, we've been doing it wrong. We've been telling you wrong. We shouldn't be teaching you that you need to give 10%. We shouldn't be teaching you all of these things. Well, daggone it. Why ain't people listening? That goes to back. And here's that little bit of, why ain't people listening to us? Why ain't people listening to us? Because we don't have all this great big money, and we ain't got this flashy. We don't want that flashy. We want to speak truth. But why ain't people regarding us? That's why. Because we don't look like CNN or Fox News or whatever that comes off.
That scared me.
What's that?
It's the monthly meeting.
Yeah.
That thing popped up, and I'm like, who's calling? That gave a violent little whatever you call it.
And so I'm going to play this video right here on TikTok because I want everybody.
Are you showing it on the screen?
No, I'm just going to play
Okay.
I'm just going to play the audio. But I want y'all to listen to what this young man says, because as I say, we've been preaching things for so long. Now it's coming to fruition. Why are we telling you this? Why are we trying to show you receipts? Because we want you to be prepared. Listen to this.
Man, I watched the video. Well, how y'all doing, everybody? Have a good Sunday, you know what I'm saying? I just came from church, so I just want to, talk about a video I seen last night. It was of a black woman explaining where do the expenses go for a church. And she said she did the equivalence of $300,000 to run a church faithfully and, keep it operating and such things, by cleaning it and all this other stuff. But this is where I draw the line with truth telling. Okay. Your church shouldn't be $300,000 to take care of it, because the people inside of the churches are the ones that's supposed to take care of the church. You ain't supposed to go hire a cleaning crew to clean your church. You supposed to ask for volunteers inside of your church and the body of the church to actually give a helping hand with cleaning the church and, keeping it clean, sanitizing things in that nature, right? All right, then she went to talk about to pay the light bill and the mortgages, sometimes 2 mortgages on the church. First off, why are you taking out 2 mortgages on the church? And if you took out a mortgage on something, where did that loan go to? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to ask questions about stuff when you hear things, you know what I'm saying? Because you took out a second mortgage on the church, you took out a loan for something. You took out something, you know what I'm saying? It ain't just, just there for no reason. So, hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me some heat. Hold on. And also, with that, you know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to go buy no mega church. You ain't supposed to go buy no big building. You ain't supposed to do none of that. God did not tell y'all to go buy these churches. God did not tell y'all to go put these churches on his land and do all this stuff. God, you ain't finna tell me God told y'all to do that. To have a 3-story church, a 2-story church. You know what I'm saying? God didn't tell y'all to go do that. And now y'all go and make a personal decision. You know what I'm saying? You might have a small church, but if it's packed, then oh well, guess what? You praise God in the same. Hello. Yeah, but like I was saying, man, I had to get my food and stuff, you know. You ready to go to the country to spend time with hunger, but what am I doing, man? Sure. Green light. I'm up here slowing down for no reason. But people have to understand what they're doing and the decisions they're making that is gonna consequently hurt other people. You know what I'm saying? Because now we know the truth about tithes and offering. We really don't have to tithe to the church. We don't have to give money offering to the church. Tithing is dealing with fruits and vegetables in the first round of your crops. You know what I'm saying? So the Israelites is correct on that. They are telling the truth. But now we as individuals have to step back and look and see what's going on. Do we need to step back and look and see how can we help benefit each other first before we have benefit something that. Man, I watched the video. Well, how y'all doing, everybody? Have a good Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Just have a
So look, guys, men, as we go down this journey of the Watchmen, and as we got this platform, as God's given us something that's greater and greater each and every time, it is a blessing to be in front of you. It is a blessing to be able to have preached the word of God to you over these years. It is a blessing to be able to have opened up the eyes to so many. It is a blessing to be able to tell you guys to be prepared. But what's more of a blessing, guys, out there, I want you guys to understand that as the watchmen of the Movement Ministries, we are going to be the watchmen that's watching the world. On Sundays from here, we're going to be going out into the streets, preaching, and not really preaching, but praying and preaching and teaching men. We have a place that we can go hang out, and that's what we're going to go do. So we're going to go hang out at these places, and we're going to have a place where you can come and you can encounter with us. We finally do have a spot that we can come and we can congregate, and it's great because it's opening up doors for us to be a part of something even bigger, and that's God's word, and that's God's word coming forth. We don't know how much time we have on this. We have no idea. We have no idea how much time we have left on this earth. But what we do know, and what we do have, is an understanding that time's coming to an end. And now is the time for us as strong men to come together and help repair what this world has destroyed. My wife was just teaching us about the days of Noah. We are in the days of Noah. That means we need to get ready. That means as men we need to learn. That means as men, I want you men to understand that this is something that you need. We will come together. We will teach one another how to be men. And that's why you need to tune in. That's why you need to get the app. Beginning next week, that's the one way you'll be able to reach us is through the app. Through the app. Next week, that's how you're going to see us is through the app. We'll send out a notification on Facebook that we're going live, but this is how you'll see us. Because as you saw, as you just listened to, this person, since Tommy's back, what I'm going to actually do, I'm going to actually play it, and then I'm going to show it to you guys on video. So give me just a second.
Yeah, too much liquids, tons of water.
All right, so here's this video, guys.
Man, I watched the video. Well, how y'all doing, everybody? Have a good Sunday, you know what I'm saying? I took half a church, so I just want to, talk about a video I seen last night. It was of a black woman explaining where do the expenses go for a church. And she said she did the equivalence of $300,000 to run a church faithfully and, keep it operating and such things, by cleaning it and all this other stuff. But this is where I draw the line with truth telling. Okay. Your church shouldn't be $300,000 to take care of it, because the people inside of the church are the ones that's supposed to take care of the church. You ain't supposed to go hire a cleaning crew to clean your church. You supposed to ask for volunteers inside of your church and the body of the church to actually give a helping hand with cleaning the church and keeping it clean, sanitizing things in that nature, right? All right. Then she went to talk about to pay the light bill and the mortgages. Sometimes 2 mortgages on the church. First off, why are you taking out 2 mortgages on the church? And if you took out a mortgage on something, where did that loan go to? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to ask questions about stuff when you hear things. You know what I'm saying? Because if you took out a second mortgage on the church, you took out a loan for something. You took out something. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just, just there for no reason. So, hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me some heat. Hold on. And also, with that, you know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to go by no mega church. You ain't supposed to go by no big building. You ain't supposed to do none of that. God did not tell y'all to go buy these churches. God did not tell y'all to go put these churches on his land and do all this stuff. God, you ain't finna tell me God told y'all to do that. To have a 3-story church, a 2-story church. You know what I'm saying? God didn't tell y'all to go do that. And now y'all go and make a personal decision. You know what I'm saying? You might have a small church, but if it's packed, then guess what? You praise God in the same. Hello. Yeah, but like I was saying, man, I had to get my food and stuff, Get ready to go to the country, spend time with hunger, but what am I doing, bro? Sure. Green light. I'm up here slowing down for no reason. But people have to understand what they're doing and the decisions they're making that is gonna consequently hurt other people. You know what I'm saying? Because now we know the truth about tithes and offering. We really don't have to tithe to the church. We don't have to give money offering to the church. Tithing is dealing with fruits and vegetables in the first round of your crops. You know what I'm saying? So the Israelites is correct on that. They are telling the truth. But now, we as individuals have to step back and look and see what's going on. Do we need to step back and look and see how can we help benefit each other first before we help benefit something that
makes you wonder, if you're taking out a loan for a mortgage, then who's it put in the name by,
That's what he was saying.
Exactly. Like that really makes you wonder. Because somebody has to be held responsible for it if it doesn't get paid.
And that's 100% facts. But see, guys, that's why we're going to move to the app. These things that we just put up like I said, Facebook's probably done taking us down. I'll be surprised if they haven't. But we want to be able to show you guys true what's going on. Our hands have been tied for so many years because we've had to use Facebook as our sole platform to get us out there. Yeah. Now we have a platform. Yes, on the radio, we are very free on what we talk about. We talk about whatever we want to on the radio. But now we can even do that now more so in the app. We can talk about whatever we want and build each other up in such a way that we can now have knowledge to where now we can have what's going on. And we've done research and we've done things to show that, to study ourselves and show ourselves approved. Now we get to do that now in front of you every time we go live. Yeah. It's no longer, got to filter, got to say this.
And that's something that we should definitely reach out to all the men that are listening or are going to be listening to this, is reach out to us, talk to us. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to find out more about?
Right.
Like DJ has a lot of knowledge, and I can bring some wisdom to the table, but bring something to the table. It doesn't have to be anything. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be anything about the Bible. It could be just thoughts on what you think you should do with something or a certain situation. Bring that, and we'll make that because your situation that you bring to us, and then we bring it live here on the Watchmen through the app, through YouTube and all that. It may help somebody else that has the same question. Maybe they don't really want to ask it. Maybe they're embarrassed to ask that question. Who knows? But we can bring up something and deliver some sort of guidance, leadership, whatever, information, and go forward with it. So,
well, that's what I like about why
You
we have the app, Tommy.
because you got that messaging system, and so you can reach out to us personally
as we go live. As we go live, if you want to say something, hey, look, what do you feel about this, or how do you think about that? As we're live, let us know, because we can build a community of men being strong together for as long as we can. I'm telling you, guys, men, start watching about what's going on. And don't just believe every single thing that you see, read, or hear. Take the time to research just a little bit. Like I said, that thing with the World Health Organization, completely swept up under the world. Nobody talking about it. But then when the new coronavirus or whatever virus comes, and and the UN comes through our doors and start locking us in, we're going to be going, what happened? What? It's because nobody told you. But we want to tell you, so when that does happen, you are prepared. Just like you said, you and your friends out there, y'all are, I ain't gonna go too far, but y'all doing what y'all doing.
Yeah, buddy.
Y'all doing what y'all doing.
Yeah,
and that's what we need, more people to take this knowledge to go back to just keep doing what you're doing. So when the time comes, we can come together and do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the right reasons. Well, we got about 2 minutes, and then I got to get up off here because we do have our monthly meeting today. But next week, it's going to be even better. We'll have our main man, Austin, be back in the building.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
I'm pretty sure he'll be back. But
I was substituting. No, I'm just kidding. It's because we switched the dates from Monday to Sunday. So I almost forgot today. If I had not laid my phone perfectly facing me on that treadmill, I would have been. I probably
you're like
I would have seen it after, and it would have been like 1:30 something, and I'd been like, dang.
Hey, look, and you told me, you said, hey, make sure you send a reminder. So, bam. But yeah, we'll have Austin back. We'll be able to do a little bit more because we have these monthly meetings, because that's important too, to keep things moving, to keep things right along, to make sure we're on track. We love you guys, and we're looking forward to many more years to come without being silenced. Thank God for faith, and thank God for stepping out in faith and saying, we're tired of being censored. We're tired of having somebody tell us what we can and cannot say. It's time to break free and start doing what God called us to do in the movement and create that movement.
Yeah.
And we can do that fully and effectively right now. I want to have a time to where we go out and we have just T-shirts. Anyways, I'll tell you this later. It's just set up T-shirts and just have people come and get a T-shirt if you download the app. I want to start doing stuff like that so people get that app. People get the app. Because we want to be bigger than Facebook. We want to be more incredible than what Facebook ever thought they could be. Tommy, till next week.
Till next week.
This is Pastor DJ and Tommy Gunn.